Hello world, how you guys doing? Welcome to Mayhem in May. And guess what? We are on day 11. And of course, now this right here is one of my favorite topics because I dwindle in the financial space heavily, and it is sticking to a budget. When I tell you, and there's going to be another category that's going to talk about I think it's bookkeeping, right? But sticking to a budget and anything that's dealing with the financial sector is a very sensitive space for me. And the reason being is because I know the hurdles that I had to get over once you get to a certain amount and not wanting to fall under a certain threshold because you just don't want to go back to ground zero again, right? So this particular tip is vital at the very beginning, making sure that you're sticking to a budget, being disciplined in that budget. So that way, when you do hit it big, right, you know how to manage your money properly. So let's dive right into it, guys. But before we do, allow me to give you my tip. So creating and utilizing budget is the best tip for small business management. This will benefit your business in two ways. First, you'll be able to gauge how much you need to sell in order to cover your overhead. And second, it'll serve as a guide that will help your business grow. A budget may seem restrictive, but it's actually the complete opposite. It provides you with knowledge of your finances that you can use to identify areas of improvement and set tangible goals for the future. So when it comes to the business, one of the most important things you can do is stick to a budget. Having a budget helps you keep track of your spending, plan for future expenses, and make sure you're not overspending. So there are a few things you need to keep in mind when creating a budget for your business. The first one is you need to track all of your income and expenses. This will help you see where your money is going and where you can cut back on. The second tip is you'll need to set realistic goals. If you want to save money, you need to set a goal that is achievable. For example, you may want to save $500 per month. Why? Because you may say, I want to apply this $500 a month into maybe an investment account. So that way I am making money while my company is growing. So that way, when something comes up unexpectedly, I can use the earnings from my investment to cover that expense. So I don't have to tap into my budget that I have set for the month for my business. The third tip is you need to be flexible. Things change and you may need to adjust your budget accordingly, right? So what am I saying? You set aside a little bit of that money for just in case, right? So now I have a two-pronged approach where I have an investment that's earning, and then I have a little bit of a savings that can take care of things that just come up unexpectedly, right? So it's almost like I have two safety nets just in case. The fourth tip is you need to review your budget regularly. This will help you make sure you are on track and make any necessary changes. So Dr. Pitts, when should I review my budget? Every month. At the end of every month, see how many sales you've generated, see how much money is going out. This needs to be done on a monthly basis. It plays a major role and it makes it easier when you decide to do your audit, whether that's quarterly or yearly. The fifth tip is you need to have discipline. This is important. Sticking to a budget can be difficult, but it is important to stick with it. Okay. It is very, very important to stick with it. Now, if you follow these tips, you will be on your way to sticking to a budget and saving money for your business to do what? Expand, more marketing, to get more advertising, and of course, more promoting. So listen, guys, I'll give you guys level of transparency is what we talked about yesterday, right? Not only do sticking to a budget in your business helps you for the business, but it also helps you with real life, right? I don't care how much money I make. I pay myself $1,000 a week. And this is what works for me. It's been working for me now for the last 5 years. I don't care how much money I make. Now, when it comes to vacations and trips, that's where I kind of overextend, right? But my discipline has been $1,000 a week, $1,000 a week, right? Granted, there are certain components that allow me to have $1,000 a week and be able to manage that appropriately, right? So one of the strategies that I do is I pay my bills for the whole year on January the 15th. So that way there's no worry throughout the rest of the months that I have to pay bills, which allows me to take that $1,000 a week and now divvy up to where I may be saving $250 a week, right? So then at the end of a month, I have another $1,000 saved going into the following month of now paying myself $1,000 a week. And now what can I do, right? I can do one or two things. I can continue to keep saving, right? Maybe because I want to buy a special gift for the wife, or I want something personally for myself, or I can give myself a raise by $100 in the following month, where now I'm paying myself $1,100, right? We call that compounding, what I'm saving into what I'm paying myself, right? So there's so many different strategies, you guys. I talk about that in the ebook that you guys will be able to partake in. And I promise you guys, the ebook will be released. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back into all of the Mayhem and Mays and tag the link in in the comment section. So you guys can, and these, the links will be separate ebooks for you, right? That you can purchase individually, one by one, because each one of them have a different guideline and a guidebook for you guys. Okay. So listen, if this information was helpful, do me a favor, share it with 11 people today that may need this information to help take their business to the next level. Other than that, you guys already know my quote. Coming together is the beginning. Sticking together is progress, but working together is success. My name is Dr. Casual Pitts, and stay tuned for tomorrow's Mayhem in May, day 12. Peace.